who would you like to recruit for higher office? So I'm going to go to Izzy first.
Okay, so I picked my man Bill Nye, right? So first of all, he's very much in the spotlight in terms of his policies, especially when it comes to climate change. And I really feel like we don't have enough scientists. We don't have enough scientists in Congress. We don't have enough scientists in politics in general. And it's part of the reason why we as a country are a disaster when it comes to science, when it comes to climate change, when it comes to even just something as simple as critical thinking. We are run by a country of just emotional politicians. And we don't even have, half of our politicians don't even believe in science. I mean, that's how bad we are right now. So, as well-spoken as Bill Nye is, as he's on the forefront of every, climate change is by far the biggest risk that we face as a species, not even just as a country, but as a species. And he's on the forefront of that fight. So I would love to see him run for political office one day.
So what if, do you know anything about his other policies, or is it mainly because he's a scientist? Do you think, I'm trying to think of any flaws. Like, if I was thinking, is this guy really progressive? Are you worried that he might not be for Medicare for all or anything like that?
I'm not. I haven't ever heard him speak on this directly, but anything I have ever heard him say has been nothing but compassion and just logic and reason. And when you put all those things together, you get progressive policies. So I don't really doubt that he would be for the policies that we're all for as well.
Yeah, if he's not there, he could probably be swayed with logic. There's I think my politician that I would love to see is somebody who has been a politician before, is Jesse Ventura. I wish he would have run in this race. And the interviews that he's done, he actually has a personal situation in his family that he can't run because somebody is sick and he needs his health care to pay for those people. Another reason why we need Medicare for all, where health care should stay in a job.
Exactly.
But he is, again, if you wanted to throw, he's probably not as perfect as Tulsi. If you wanted to create him in a lab, he's more of a hippie, but he also is a Navy SEAL. So he's a veteran that served. He is someone that has been, he's progressive, but he's not, Bernie. He has he's a Second Amendment progressive person. So he's pro Second Amendment while also being progressive on many other policies. So I think he's somebody that can be reasoned with. I think he's somebody who's charismatic. If you needed somebody to take down Trump in a debate, he's somebody that could do it with his eyes closed and embarrass him. Somebody that doesn't have a bad record of voting that would haunt him. And he's proven that he can lead at the governor level, which is usually a requirement for president. So big Jesse fan. And of course they'll attack him for being on RT America, but he was on MSNBC before that. And what happened when he came out against the regime change wars? They paid him his contract, but they said he couldn't be on air because they didn't want him having an anti-war sentiment on the media. So rather than either fire him, to keep him off the air anywhere else, they paid his contract all the way through
for 3 years
off the air. So it's one of those things where that's the kind of guy I like. I like somebody that's not afraid to speak out.
Yeah, I'm definitely a Jesse Ventura fan, and one thing I like about him is he's so good with messaging. Like, he's the anti-Bernie in that sense. Bernie would try to tell you in paragraphs how Medicare for all is good, and Jesse Ventura, I don't know how he does it, but he knows how to boil everything down to simple sound bites, and he would have been. I really think that the Green Party, he was trying to get on to that ticket, and I'm not saying it would have been a guarantee, but if Jesse Ventura could have gotten into the debates, I think we would have seen a whole different political climate than what we have right now. So I'm going to move on to
two more things on Jesse. He's very, very, very pro-union. He was leading the fight to unionize. He was formerly a wrestler in WWF back in the day. He was leading the charge to unionize them, and then ultimately he became part of a union with the Screen Actors Guild, and also marijuana legalization. He's unapologetically in favor of marijuana legalization and decriminalization throughout the country federally. So,
yeah, Felipe.
All right. This is gonna sound kind of whack, but I think LeBron James should actually run for Ohio Senator in 2028. In the past just couple years, he has donated a lot to charities and whatnot, but more importantly, he's taken an active stance in African American voting rights, both even in Florida, down here with all of the the Supreme Court laws surrounding the returning of votes to felons. He has been helping to pay those fees with a voting rights group that I think he founded or co-founded, but I might be wrong on that. And I think, yeah. So I think moving forward, if he builds off of this energy, he would be great for the state of Ohio, and he should be revered there. I'm surprised they don't have an actual statue of him there. You know.
All right, I gotta push back a little bit. I've seen too many people agreeing with this. I don't know this guy's policies. I mean, he endorsed Hillary Clinton, which is like the popular thing to do probably for any celebrity. Let's be real. If you don't endorse Hillary, you know, you would be ostracized or whatever in celebrity circles. But I like people who almost borderline being radical. Like, I understand everybody can't be a radical, but I want to see you take a stand that's not popular, like with anything. You know, everything that he's done, even with China, when they had the issue with China, he went along with his pockets than to go along and talk about, use that situation to talk about freedom of speech and to speak out against the China regime. So I know you guys was shaking your head. Yes, I'm not impressed.
Hey, listen, Case, not everybody could be Tulsi, okay?
Or Bernie or Nina. I like Nina. Let's go with Nina. We need some Ninas.
Yeah. Well, that was my person. You stole him. You stole my person. You know, we talked about her already, but you know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carlito.
Yeah, Nina was the person I would have chosen, you know, so we already spoke about her. We could just keep it moving, but we already know she's the truth.
So Carlito, how about Nina LeBron ticket?
Ohio ticket.
We'll see. We'll see. All right.
Senator. Yeah.
Well, you know, for me, like, you know, he's gonna come a surprise. Like, he's not progressive, but someone that I've been following and seeing is Mark Cuban. Like, Mark Cuban, I've been listening to him, and one thing I like about him, he keep it 100. He tells you, like, you know, he will say, hey, I don't think Medicare for all will work, but this is what I would do. Here's, like, you will go based on your income, and based on this is how much you pay. You will pay 0, and after you pay 1%, whatever percent it is of that, you don't pay anything else. He talks about getting rid of the buybacks. He's getting rid of the CEOs buying stocks and saying, oh, well,
that's important.
You know, someone in the company, they get share of the company too. So the generator makes $30,000. When all this B payout go out, then that generator gets 30,000 shares. Or, you know, so there are things that he talks about. Obviously, everyone, you know, he's not as progressive as I would like. But there's a policies that he talks about that I'd be like, okay, that's someone that if I had Trump, Biden, Cuban, I would definitely get behind Cuban just because he just keeps it 100. You know, I like politicians that if you're going to tell me, hey, Medicare for all doesn't work, just tell me and be like, but maybe this plan, my plan that I have will work, and show me how it will work. So Mark Cuban will be someone that if I had those two choices, I would love to just get behind.
I got my Bernie side eye on Mark Cuban, but I'll tell you this much.
He's not perfect. You know, he's not perfect. Like, nobody perfect, right? I'm just saying that if we had a choice of Biden, Trump, or Cuban, I would pick Cuban.
Let me put it this way. If it's between Ted Cruz and Beto O'Rourke, I would want Mark Cuban definitely as senator. So I'll give you that one.